Hey, everybody, welcome back to the RapChat podcast. I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
I'm Sam Kenny.
And before we head into the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and also leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and... Am I forgetting one? Instagram,
TikTok, Twitter.
Oh, just the three. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every week. Welcome back, everybody.
What's going on?
Back, guys.
It feels like it's been a little bit.
If it does feel like it's been a little while. I don't know why.
There's only been one Raptors game since
they had a couple. They've had a little break here.
Yeah,
they had a little
and then
break.
even like this week, they think like 2 games or 3 games. I guess this week it's usually 4. So.
And also, I remember Sam mentioning something about how, or maybe it was you, Elias, about how we played like the least games out of any team or something like this season. Or
yeah, we were below on like actual games played for a little bit. I don't think we might have caught up. Yeah, for for a week or two. I forget when though.
I think Sacramento was really behind. I looked at the standings the other day, and they're like 3 games behind everybody else.
Yeah, we haven't because we've only had like 2 or 3.
Why does that happen? Like, how does that happen? The league
So
just
it's
does it like that,
It's
or
sketching.
what?
Like,
road
some teams will
trips.
play multiple games here, then the Sacramento will play more condensed games later on.
But do they do that like on purpose?
I don't
like,
think-
or
No, they have an algorithm that does the
I think it
scheduling.
evens
Oh,
out.
okay.
Probably.
No, there's not a guy doing it manually. There's no way.
wait,
That'd be
wait a
so
second.
hard.
There's an algorithm that does this the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
scheduling. Because
yeah.
I was thinking like. Because we were watching a bunch of those long highlights the other day, and I was thinking about Kobe's last game against the Suns, and I was like,
It was the Jazz.
"Wait, the Jazz? I thought he played Devin Booker in his last game. He scored like 60 points.
Suns.
No, it was
I mean,
the
Jazz.
Jazz.
Yeah,
It
Jazz.
was the Jazz.
Yeah, it was the Jazz.
I don't know why I'm tripping.
But the that game when he won, that the Lakers won, that kicked Utah out of the playoffs.
Wow.
Really?
Yes,
I forgot about
Utah
that.
had to win that game to go to the playoffs, and they lost.
Fuck.
Crazy.
Jeez, that was a while ago. But I was like, oh, I wonder if I thought somebody had like maybe done that on purpose, but I guess it was just that's how it ended.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think it was a few years ago also. OKC in Denver were like the last game of
Timberwolves in Denver.
Timberwolves in
Yeah.
Denver. It was the last game of the season. And it went to overtime too, didn't it? Or was it
Yeah, it was a
something
really
like
close game.
Yeah,
And
I
winner
remember
went,
watching it.
Winner went to the playoffs.
Yeah, and those 2 are the only 2 teams that did not have like a whether you're in the playoffs or not like locked yet.
Oh, okay.
And it was whoever won went to the playoffs.
And there's just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty fun.
That's why I feel like people like the play-in
Yeah,
style.
I think
now,
that's what
because it like
influences
incorporates
why the play-in.
more elements of like that. You know, because
Winner
they
go
want
home.
Yeah, it's like
kind of thing.
you want teams to be more competitive. You know. And
Yeah,
then-
exactly.
So
Like LeBron's the only guy that doesn't like it because he's always in it.
yeah.
He's like, bro, I need a rest. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in the playoffs every year.
Like 45 need a
Who
break.
knows, man? We'll see how they do this
Yeah,
year.
jeez.
But because like there's like teams that definitely can beat the Lakers out of the West. The Suns for sure.
The
Yeah.
Warriors.
And the Warriors.
The
The Jazz.
I ain't even counting the Jazz yet. I haven't seen them.
I think they could beat
What
the
about,
Lakers.
what about Denver?
They can, but I think nah, not right now. They're too injured.
Is Jamal Murray going to come back this season or no?
But if he does, it's
It'd be
going
the
to
end of the
be
year,
100%.
and then yeah.
I think the Clippers could win a series. Not for sure, but they could
No,
win.
not without Kawhi.
In a series, though? I don't know. I think they could. Mavericks could. I wouldn't say for sure.
The Mavericks just feel like such a
I feel like every team could, though. Like,
it's
there's
so
no
sad
team
for
that,
them.
like...
What? Denver?
No, the Mavericks. I feel like it's sad for them as a team. Like I just feel like they.
Oh, for like having
yeah.
Jason Kidd as their coach.
Well, yeah,
I feel
just like
bad for them for that.
nothing is like I feel like nothing's
Gone
like
their
they.
way, except for Luka.
Well, and like Mark Cuban is like I feel like he has this attitude where he thinks he's like a big basketball guy,
Oh,
but it's
Yeah,
like
he's
big
not.
brain.
He's not.
Yeah,
a good,
I'm like,
he does not know
no.
basketball at all.
Exactly.
But he's way too involved in the.
He's just a fan with a bunch of money, so...
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what
like-
most owners are.
and
Same
he
thing with
wonders
Steve Ballmer.
he like wonders why his team isn't doing well. His like first thought is like, oh, Porzingis is from Europe too. Like let's just get them together. You know,
Yeah.
him and Luka. It's
Whoa.
like it doesn't matter where people are from. If they don't fuck
Yeah.
with each other, then they don't vibe.
Yeah.
They have
Like,
so
you
many
know,
international guys. They have Maxi Kleba too.
He said some super...
Dirk going back in the
yeah,
past
he's
too.
like...
like
I
Like
just, he
Powell's
just like...
Canadian.
He like... Man,
Oh, yeah.
Owners shouldn't have any input on
totally
actual
agree.
basketball things.
I totally agree. That's
Just
what-
give them,
that's-
supply the money and get out of the way. Like, you don't know more than the GM or the
Give him money and
coach.
unless
Shut
you're
up.
like Dwayne Wade though, like what those guys.
Right,
but,
right.
You know,
but he's not even a majority owner, right?
Right,
He's just got a stake
right.
in it.
But that's the problem though. We were talking about this with Larry Tannenbaum, how we're like
Yeah.
really like not.
He's not involved though. Which
Yeah,
is
he
good.
isn't involved.
Yeah.
He
He's
isn't
very-
involved.
He's like Messiah, you do your thing.
Yeah,
which I'm very
which
happy
is
about.
good. Which is
I'll
good.
throw in the cash in you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's also it involves a certain level of trust, right? Like if he doesn't
Yeah.
feel that the
And
Raptors are.
the ownership is also like their whole mentality is make this team worth as much as possible.
Yeah.
so
They don't
they
care
can
about-
sell
yeah.
it more for later.
Yeah.
So that's their whole mentality. It's like when Steve Ballmer, when the Clippers got Kawhi and Paul George, I think Steve Ballmer was so happy because he's like, we just like doubled our how
Yeah,
much
they
we're
went and
worth.
built a new stadium like right away.
Yeah.
So
So Before we head into the podcast, also, I think it's important we got to mention our schedule
Format.
for today. Format today.
It's kind of
So
different. We're doing something different.
we're just 2 things today, right?
Yeah.
We're doing game recap,
Yeah.
and then we're
then-
doing our lists.
Yeah,
I
so
thought we-
basically, instead of talking about the Raptors all episode, we're kind of thinking on Sunday episodes or Monday episodes, I guess. We record on Sundays. Would be like a little more NBA.
Or
as
just a
whole
laid
thing,
back
just more
format.
Yeah,
in
so we'll still
general.
talk about the Raptors games, but then from there, it'll be a little more like we'll talk more about the NBA and stuff like that. So I think for the next 5 Mondays, we're gonna rank our top 10 every position. So today we're doing point guards.
All
All
right.
right. Should we start with Raptors Bucks?
Let's do it.
All right. These guys played on Thursday. It feels like it's been like a really long time ago.
Feels
I
like
don't
it's
know.
been 3
I
hours
so
ago
who
for
do
me,
they play
'cause that's when I
tonight?
watched it.
They play the Wizards tonight.
Mm.
Raptors Bucks. No Giannis. No Cam. No
I
OG.
think I said too. The only hope in this game is if Giannis doesn't play.
Yeah, hey, he didn't play. No Cam, no OG, and Gary Trent Jr. made his return, and he made his return. It was a tough night, but he did hit his first 3 right away. Nice step back. First quarter, like the whole game was just like, this is my favorite game of the season, I think, so far. Just from a competitive standpoint, it was just so, just like in the moment.
I feel like we've been seeing more and more of this, the flow and everyone getting in more into it. Like
Yeah.
the defense has been incrementally getting better game by game.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad at all this game.
No, this is one of our
like-
best defensive showings in a long time.
And it's good to see that against a team like the Bucks. I mean, like,
but even Giannis play, but like
Yeah,
still, like
yeah.
that they Holliday and Middleton are really
Yeah,
special.
well,
and,
true.
and
Mike
Chris
Budenholzer
coming
is a-
back, like Chris Middleton coming back is a big factor. Like he's huge for that team.
yeah, and Mike Budenholzer is a great coach. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Defense looked like awesome right away, and Pascal and Scotty were both really hurting the Bucks. The Bucks were sending like, there was one play I wrote down was it was like a semi-fast break. Pascal was leading it, and he just went into the paint, jump stopped, and 4 Bucks converged on him.
Oh,
and because of
geez.
that, and also because we had Gary back, he kicked to Gary in the corner. Then all the Bucks reacted super hard to Gary in the corner, and then Gary with a nice little bounce pass over to Fred,
That was-
angle 3.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I remember
the Bucks
that.
were so out of position because they were like reacting so hard to Pascal and Gary. I think that shows like how much spacing really helps us. After the first, Drew Holliday was just killing us. He was getting to the paint. He had their first 7 points, and a couple defensive miscues, but I mean, on the whole, really good defensive quarter, and we were up 26-23. Second quarter defense, super active to start. We started on a 9-0 run, capped off by Yuta Watanabe 3.
Let's go.
Drew Holiday though, man, oh my god, just amazing shot making, like all game. Like he was like the only reason this was even a game. For like he kept the minute for
His
most of
shot
the game.
creation is so underrated.
just-
he's a
and-
crazy good shot creator.
And his like him and it was fun to watch him and Vanvleet just go at it. They're both like so physical on defense. I like they were like being allowed to play. Those two were being allowed to play.
There's a couple times they called some BS fouls on Fred,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Scotty 3 threes in the first half, or 2 3s in the first half. One in
Holy,
the third quarter.
I love how Nick is really pushing Scotty to shoot more, man.
man.
It's just so great.
He's shot-
because like if he sorry Elias,
It's fine.
but for him to develop his shot early if he can is so important because
Well,
it's like
yeah.
why if you can
yeah.
shoot, why don't you? You know what I mean?
and
Like
then especially a year like this where we know we're not going to win a championship. So
These are the important
And,
years,
one
yeah.
of the reasons why it was important was on his second 3 of the game, Pascal was posting up. I believe it was Connaughton he was posting up, and Scotty was at the top of the key, and Middleton was guarding Scotty, and he didn't go full help on Pascal, but he had to shade over enough. But he also couldn't leave Scotty fully
Right.
open, and
And
because
then
of that,
that changes so
they
much.
had-
Oh, it
the
changes
defense-
so
And
much.
then because of that, the defense is going to obviously rather a Scotty 3 than a Pascal layup.
Yeah.
But because of that, Pascal, when there was enough room, was able to kick it out, and Scotty was fully open.
Because
and
they
knocked down the
they
3.
saw Scotty shoot like 50% over the past 2 games,
Yep.
and then he made that first 3. So like, okay, he's still
Yeah,
making them.
yeah.
So now Drew's got to.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta
It's 'cause
show
it-
us.
a few
But
weeks
that's part of our design. We do
Yeah.
that on purpose,
But
right?
that's the great part with Scotty being able to shoot threes. Because like 2 weeks ago,
They would've just
Drew
doubled
totally
Pascal.
doubled, and then
Yeah.
we kicked to Scotty, and Scotty couldn't do anything
Yeah.
because he wasn't ready to
or
shoot.
he'd like drive into the mid range
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
put up like a weird kind of
like
shot.
it wouldn't
and
have worked out. As
It's
it
not
was.
something that you could do consistently.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
It's not sustainable.
And he made the 3 too.
We were at 48-40 at the half. One of the best defensive halves in a long time. Like the defense was just so active. Guys were just moving, and everyone was contributing on defense.
Even Precious was
Scott-
doing
oh,
great
yeah.
on defense.
This will be a good
Precious
game
defense.
against the Wizards to test our defense, just to
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah.
that it's
They're
going to be
scoring a
good.
good amount of points.
It'd be interesting to see
Yeah.
how we guard Bradley Beal and Dinwiddie.
Do we have anyone coming back tonight?
No.
No, OG and Cameron still
No.
out.
Great defensive half. Everyone contributed. Scotty was great on Middleton. Fred was doing his best on Drew Holiday, but he's a lot stronger than Fred, so it's a bit of a harder matchup for him.
Yeah. And he's taller than Fred, a
yeah.
bit bigger, and just
way bigger. Third quarter,
And Fred's like
defense,
5'3" and Drew Holiday's 6'4", so you know it's tough.
defense wasn't as sharp.
I almost didn't catch that. I was like 5'3".
Like, yeah, he's 5'3" right now.
Yeah, he's shrunk even
No,
more.
sorry, I just checked. Yeah, it's 5'3".
Defense was not as sharp to start the third quarter. Holliday once again just killing us. But we got it together and we were up at 1 point, 63-52 when the defense locked back in. Scotty had a nice ISO to a spin into a nice little fade over Middleton. And then once again, Drew Holliday cut the lead to 4. He was always like the thorn in the side. Like every time we thought the Raptors would pull away, Drew Holliday.
Well, man,
bring it
when
back
you're
in.
missing a guy like Giannis, like someone on that team's gonna step up
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got a lot of
and
guys
it wasn't
who can
Middleton.
do it.
Well, Middleton though, at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, had some massive, like really tough shots. But other than that, he didn't impact the game much.
He
I
had a
thought
tough
Scotty
shot
did
at the
amazing
buzzer.
on him.
Tough
Scotty,
shot at the buzzer, but yeah.
right over Yuta.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Scotty though was awesome on Middleton. To end the third, we had a lineup of it was Fred with Bantam, Boucher, Svi, and Bonga, and they held their own. And then Fred went out, and it was Yuta, Bantam, Boucher, Svi, Bonga, and they weren't half bad though. Raptors were still at 5 after 3. Fourth quarter, oh my god, what a fun quarter! It started off with Yuta rotating over to protect the rim.
See, and like the thing is I trust Yuta as like a rim protector,
Yeah.
man. Like he's a long, lanky, tall dude, and
he jumps at everything.
every time. He even said that he's like, I literally don't care if
Yeah.
I get dunked on. Like he's got one of the most. We talked about this. Like one of the most crazy highlight dunks, probably that's going to be of this next decade
Against him, yeah.
Against him.
Against him.
And he still is like, I will jump every time.
Or
like
if he doesn't, he'll be out of the league, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's a role
Like
player.
House of
Totally.
Highlight, you know, like at the end of 2020, House of Highlights did that like dunk of the decade thing where like going through Instagram stories, everybody would vote. That's
yeah.
gonna be like one of the top.
It's right. No. I bet it will be probably number one at
Maybe,
least.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bucks were making a run again at the start of the fourth, but Fred VanVleet comes into the game and probably one of his best quarters of a Toronto Raptor ever. I think this quarter it was absolutely insane the way he led the team. He comes in right away and hits a 3. He gets a steal. Like he's just everywhere on the court. But what happens is we get foul trouble for Siakam and Barnes. They both have 5 fouls with over 6 minutes to go.
Damn. See, man, this is what happens when you're missing
they were-
OG
yeah.
and Kem, bro. Like it's when you're able to.
And they were legit fouls too. Like there was a lot of bad calls, but like they were just they were legit fouls.
Yeah.
And Siakam would have 6, but they used a good challenge and got him on one that it was a good challenge. So he only had 5. Barnes had 5 with 6:40 to go. I think Barnes played the rest of the game. Pascal was out for like a minute only. But then this is where my notes started to get a little crazy here because I was literally taking notes on everything that happened in this game. We're up 6, and this is when the whistle just gets a little bit like, what's going on? Fred had an insane like Euro wrong foot left hand layup.
Scoop.
He split the defender over Holliday and Portis. It was just beautiful. Then Holliday gets to the free throw line with a little over 3 minutes to go. 2 free throws, and he misses both.
Oh,
We come down on the floor.
he's got such a. Drew Holiday has such a weird shot.
He does.
It's like
Very
it's,
It
muscular.
kind of bothers me. Yeah,
Yeah.
he brings up and goes.
like
Yeah.
he can like shoot threes.
Yeah.
And he's got a decent
he's a
shooting.
great- he's a great shooter, but it's
yeah.
just-
but like I
like you said,
feel
it's really
what's-
strong.
I wonder what his like free throw percentage is because I feel like his
It's good, I think.
is it good?
Yeah, he's a really just like solid all around.
Okay, because he just
shooter.
he just got such a weird
Oh, whoa,
shot.
it's bad this season.
Yeah, see, I feel like it has something to do with his shot form, man. His shot
It's
form is just weird.
66% this season.
Yeah.
Wow, that's way worse
Yeah,
than I thought.
see, I was expecting.
See?
Well, like, I was expecting something like that.
Oh, no, because he in the past years he shot like 85%. This year's a huge dip.
Just dipping it.
Just dipping.
So now we're at
Yo, Drew just dipped.
dripping
Yo,
and
this guy's
dipping.
dipping.
yeah. So Drew missed 2 big free throws. We get the rebound. We go down the other end, and I think it was Fred or Gary shot a 3, and it was like a bit like early in the clock. Siakam gets the big O rebound, and I think we go to the free throw line. Game like it was just I thought it was like okay, it's fine, it's over, and there was always something crazy happening. Big play in the clutch. Scotty Barnes has Pat Connaughton on him, takes him down low. Looks like he's gonna spin maybe over his left shoulder, but goes to the middle of the paint and hits like a weird double clutch fadeaway thing.
The
Nails
thing
it.
is that Scotty can totally take a guy like Pat
Oh, yeah.
Connaughton. Like,
And he nails the shot.
He makes those shots a lot too.
Yeah.
though. Those,
I
like,
feel
low
like
push shots
also
over defender.
when we do game thoughts, I have something to kind of say. Sorry, yeah.
And then a massive play in the game. Missed shot by the Raptors going out the other way. It was Drew Holiday on the fast break, and Precious comes out of nowhere, chase down block on the fast break. He gets the rebound, like a big scramble. It ends up with Pascal fouling out. He's on the fast break, and at first they called it a foul on Connaughton, and then they reviewed it, or the Bucks challenged, and they called Pascal for the elbow on the spin. 42 seconds left though, so you're not that bad. But then a Portis pick and pop 3. They're down 6.
Did you see how that happened?
The Pascal fast break?
No, the Portis 3.
It was a pick and pop play, but I don't know.
They were down. They were down 6 at this point before it happened, and so you clearly don't want them to shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
Precious is guarding Portis.
Yep.
And then Holliday drives. They do the screen, and then Precious doubles Drew Holiday and leaves Portis wide open. And like on a play, you just let them take a 2. Yeah. And then he doubled. That was like Precious doing great, but then like these last like 30 seconds was brutal.
Yeah, it was a really tough thing for Precious at the end here.
That also comes with
lot of
NBA
he had a great game defensely.
We've been seeing a lot of incremental improvements from Precious too over the last couple of games.
That bothered me. I was like, man, how are you an NBA player and you double in that situation?
Well,
especially if you're going Portis. But
Portis hits the 3. VanVleet though goes back, gets to the rim, gets 2 free throws. And then Middleton comes off a pick and does the weird double clutch, like the thing that they outlawed. He gets fouled on a 3, but he leaned into the defender. But the Raptors, under their challenge left, that should have been an offensive foul. They give Middleton 3 free throws.
Wow.
Hits the first 2, misses the last one. And then they call an offensive foul on Achua because he's holding Bobby Portis, like boxing out. But they're both holding each
for
other.
The rebound.
Like, you could both give him a foul. So Portis goes to the line.
Just because it's because Bobby fell. That's the only reason they gave him.
Portis goes to the line. At this point, it is a 2-point game. Misses the free throw. Here's the first free throw. 1-point game. Misses the second free throw. No, 2-point game.
Yeah.
It's a 3-point game. Hits the first free throw. Misses the second. And the offensive rebound goes back to him. They swing it around. Wide open corner 3 for Connaughton. He misses it. Precious gets the rebound. So now we are up 2 points.
And the ball is in Precious Achiuwa's hands.
Like less than 10 seconds ago. He misses both free throws. Misses the first free throw badly. Misses the second free throw really badly. But Scotty gets up above Portis, who's boxing him out, and tips it back perfectly to Yuta, who swings it over to Fred. Fred gets fouled, hits both free throws, and the Raptors win 97-93.
Let's go.
What a final minute.
Yeah, man, that was like
crazy.
I was watching that and I was like, oh my God. I thought Pat Connaughton was hitting that shot. I thought
for sure.
Oh man, and he's a guy who you can totally expect to hit a shot like that. That's just a luck thing.
I think that's just the basketball gods telling us Middleton should have gotten an offensive foul, and Precious shouldn't have called.
Hey, ball doesn't lie, man. Ball doesn't lie. Shut up.
But this game, man, I didn't realize Chris Middleton finished with 22 points. He was only 8 for 20. But he really came on in the third quarter. Drew though had 26. But Fred VanVleet, man, oh my God! Like,
did you guys notice how many times Matt Devlin said Sandro?
Yeah, Mamukelashvili.
How do you say?
Sandro.
Mamu Kalashvili.
Oh yeah,
Sandro,
that guy with the long ass last name, eh?
Mamu Kalashvili.
Samu Mamukelashvili.
Yeah.
He was saying it every time.
Mamu Kalashvili.
Mamu Kalashvili.
Yeah, Sandro Mamukelashvili.
And where the hell is he from?
Greece.
Greece.
Matt,
they have 4 Greek players on this team.
They just cut one of them though, man.
They cut Yorgos?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah, the other day they waived him.
Oh man,
only 3.
They cut Yorgos.
Yo, so DeMarcus Cousins is on the Bucks.
I don't get that.
Yeah, like where did this come from and how did this happen?
It was Brook Lopez hurt
for a while.
Yeah.
And how did they get DeMarcus Cousins though?
They just signed him.
Yeah.
He was a free agent.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's gonna last. I don't think he can play in it. I don't think he's an NBA player anymore, man.
He's a 2
I don't think he's an NBA player, man. He's too slow at this point.
Yeah. Matt literally said his last name like 3 times in a minute.
Yeah, like
I was rewatching.
Mamu Kalashvili.
Yeah.
It's Sandro Mamu Kalashvili.
Vili. Okay.
But man,
shout out to Sandro.
I want to highlight.
Is he good? Like
no.
Okay.
Well, he played out this game because again they have no bigs.
Yeah.
So
I thought Fred VanVleet in this game, man,
they
was
just try to get guys with the longest last names, and they're like, it'll probably be
good.
good.
This before they cut Yorgos, they have these guys on their team. They have Sandro Mamukelashvili, Thanas Antetokounmpo, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Yorgos Kalaitzakis.
Wow.
on their
See,
roster
saying
once.
Giannis's last name now is like
Antetokounmpo.
not
Yeah,
even
he's
not even that big of a
he's
thing.
an
But I remember
MVP,
like when he
so.
like first started coming around, everyone's like Anta
Yeah.
fuck what?
Well, like they say like a compo.
yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know how, but it's like once you like know how to pronounce a name, like it's not very hard.
Yeah, and you just kind of get into
I
that.
can spell it now.
Yeah.
It is a long ass last name.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And they also have like Dante DiVincenzo, which is like a long last name. And they have
But DiVincenzo is like very like
It's American.
phonetically,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
more
you
American.
can, yeah.
And they also have like, but it's like a long name. They also have Semi Ojale, which is a weird last name too.
right.
Semi usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to highlight Fred VanVleet, man. He was like absolutely.
was
Whenever the
unreal.
Raptors needed a run or an important play, Fred VanVleet was like in the middle of everything. Especially with Gary had a really bad game, just rusty shooting, and it was really up to Fred.
How did he look like moving on the court? It was
Yeah, he
Oh
looked
my god.
fine. I don't-
Yeah, it looked great to me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He was just
nothing
missing. He was just missing shots.
well, that's
Oh,
expected.
Gary.
Gary,
I thought
yeah.
you said Fred. I thought you said Fred. Yeah, Gary DJ. He's doing everything he was.
He was just
The shots weren't
really
going
bricking
in.
it. A couple bricks.
Shots weren't going in,
but,
especially like near the end. Too.
Yeah,
It was, like,
he looked
the crowd
tired.
was like we were going around. The crowd's like oh, and it's like
yeah, it was a tough game for Gary Trent.
It reminds me of Svi, eh?
Oh man.
oh, he was bad.
Yeah.
He hit his first three, then
1 for 6 from 3.
he hit his first.
I
one,
thought
then
Yuta. I don't know why Yuta only
shit the
played
bed.
10 minutes. They were playing like Bonga and Chris Boucher more minutes than him.
This, I've said, man, this is the playing time this season for so many players has been so
Up and
weird.
down, yeah.
Like it's just been very
Malachi
strange.
didn't play this game.
Malachi no minutes. I think he would have got killed if he played.
He
I think
would've.
like Drew Holiday would have just. He's too big. Like
Mm-hmm.
he would have. There was no place for it. I don't think in this one.
And even like George Hill can like he's way too strong for Malachi.
Yeah, I just I don't think he would have fit in. It made sense why he didn't play.
Yeah.
But Fred VanVleet, man, just like I think this was his best game of the year, overall game. Like the way he just
I
managed
agree.
the game.
He
hit
controlled
massive
the
shots.
entire
Yeah.
game.
His defense on Drew, like Drew had a really good game, but Fred did what he could,
Mm-hmm.
considering the size difference too.
Fred has such a great emotional baseline. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he's the type of guy that no matter how mad he gets, like he could literally just get a technical foul and then come out there and just be like super rock steady,
Super chill.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's
He's-
not the type of guy to get a technical
His
foul
emo-
and then start like
Yeah,
swatting
his
at
emotions,
people.
his
And,
emotions stay pretty baseline.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most I've ever seen him was in the finals game where he.
Oh, when he hit that big three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
They
the
called
big,
time he
the
just
big
walks
balls
over.
recently.
Yeah,
too,
that's
yeah.
But he's like walked over and just like screamed.
Just let it
Yeah.
all out.
Yeah.
I thought Scotty was good this game. His defense was one of his best defensive performances of the year.
He did his thing for sure.
Him and Pascal had a few nice little connections. Scotty found him on the fast break one play that was really, really nice. Everyone, Precious, the numbers don't look great. He couldn't finish to save his life, but I think
Nah, it's
When
precious.
he had some big defensive plays.
when Pascal hit Scotty in the corner for that first three he made, I think
yeah.
just him doing that. I love how much trust he's giving Scotty.
Yeah, because he hit Scotty's first 2 threes were off Pascal's
Yeah,
feet,
and
yeah.
I love seeing that for just Pascal hitting him like
Yeah.
that because Pascal
He's looking for
like
him.
as we see him like last season, Pascal when he was in the post he'd always try and score.
Yeah.
I won't
Yeah.
say always, but this guy's cutting.
Yeah.
He never really kicked it out.
He's like,
from the
I don't
post.
want to pass to Dejante Murray.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So I didn't want. I was kind of worried he wouldn't want to do that
No.
to Scotty because especially because Scotty's not necessarily a shooter yet.
No.
But the fact
He's
he's
trusting
doing
him.
that and trusting
Yeah,
him
because he
is
could
just
easily
huge.
try his luck with a fadeaway or something because he was
Yeah,
hitting them early in
exactly.
the game too, but
Yeah.
he decided to.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, I liked Delano Banton didn't do much in terms of like creating, but he had 3 offensive rebounds. He's been kind of good at sneaking in for offensive rebounds. Just a really fun
lanky,
game.
man. He's tall, yeah.
Just a really fun game. Like the big 3 of this game, Scotty, VanVleet, Pascal, all had like nice contributions, and it was fun. Liked it.
Yeah, me too.
So the one thing that I want to mention, and this isn't something related to this game, but this is just something a larger sort of thing. Can we please stop with the fucking Scotty Barnes, Giannis Antetokounmpo comparisons?
Oh, I
I
know.
can't fucking stand it. I see
You're
it.
only
I'm
setting him up to fail.
I've been seeing it on Instagram so much more recently, and I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because every player is their own individual person and thing. They bring something so unique to the table. We had a conversation, I think, about this maybe yesterday or the day before, and it's just like,
And also, Giannis is so much bigger than Scotty Barnes,
oh yeah.
and is
Oh,
more
yeah.
athletic. Like
And then but when Giannis came into the league,
he was already
he
taller.
was Scotty's way more muscular and bigger than when
Yeah.
Giannis came
Oh,
into the league.
yeah.
So there's no timeline comparison.
Exactly. Scotty's gonna be a totally different player than
Yeah.
Giannis, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Giannis is much more of like a scoring.
And Giannis
guy
isn't
who
a
pass-
playmaker like
yeah.
Scotty.
yeah, he's
He
not
play-
even close.
He's a playmaking second. Scotty's more of a playmaking.
Making
Yeah,
first,
exactly,
yeah,
that's what I mean.
absolutely, I agree. And it's just so annoying because I think a lot of that sentiment comes from like casual Raptors fans or casual NBA fans
Yeah.
or fans of other teams who just watch Scotty play and be like, oh, Giannis. It's like
Yeah.
the
Like
Toronto's
dunks
like,
or something
yeah,
like that.
exactly. And it's like, or like Toronto's like looking to replace like that sort of Giannis thing
Yeah.
is what it's
Yeah.
like.
Because Giannis signed his max, now we'll get Scotty. Giannis reincarnated.
Yeah, it's like
There's different players.
different
like,
players,
like,
man.
Giannis doesn't post up. He like attacks from the top of the floor.
Yeah,
Scotty,
totally.
He doesn't have the burst to blow by the same way.
Giannis
that
relies
Giannis
on his
does.
bursting ability.
Yeah.
Scotty's more like fundamental.
He's much more fun of a
Scotty doesn't-
slower
yeah.
game, much more of a slower pace.
Nobody is
Pulls that
as
mid-range.
athletic as Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like his athleticism is just like absurd.
When
So-
I do like mock drafts, I like comparing so I can get an idea of like how they're gonna play like. But I'll say like shades of this guy and shades of this guy. I won't say that. And if there's like a really good scorer that's like seems like a bench like Cam Thomas for example, then I compare him to Terrence Ross because they're both like spark plugs off the bench. That's my whole.
And
base.
we're not comparing him
But-
to James Harden.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like I'm
Yeah.
not doing that whole thing where like again Andrew I've talked before, but like how Andrew Wiggins was compared to LeBron coming to the league.
Rui
Polar
Hachimura.
opposite.
Rui
players.
Hachimura was compared to Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
Like
Like,
I don't
get
see
outta
any
here.
semblance in their games at all. So
I mean,
It's
I
just
see a
because
little
people
bit,
like
but-
look at their
yeah,
body types and they
Yeah.
have like big hands and they're like, oh,
every
Kawhi.
fucking what's it the mismatch Kevin O'Connor.
Oh, Kevin.
O'Connor. He does a mock draft every year, and every time as a lefty, he only compares him like James Harden.
yeah,
and Goran
like
Dragic.
didn't he compare Killian Hayes to James Harden or
Yeah,
something?
because and then Euro guys will
Do
only
you know
be
how
compared
big
to
James
other
Harden
Euro
is?
guys. and
Yeah,
stuff
like
that.
or like
He does that all
every
the time.
every tall European shooter's Dirk.
Oh, dude, no,
What?
Kevin O'Connor. I love his podcast, but his mock drafts are god awful.
Killian Hayes number 1.
do you think something that has to do with like
Clicks.
clicks and TV?
He doesn't
No,
do
not for
that.
him,
Not
not
for
for
him.
him.
He doesn't do that.
Other like ESPN something like that. Kevin
Yes,
O'Connor
but
actually like
he actually-
he
he
does
actually-
know his stuff.
Like look,
He does,
Bleacher
but-
Reports
Oh, yeah,
thing
that's
the other
clicks.
yeah, like
That's
that's
clicks.
like total for traffic and
Yeah,
clicks.
that's clicks.
Evan Mobley compared to Chris Bosh and Christian Wood. I don't see that at all.
Christian
No,
Wood's
because
a weird
he's like a DPOY player. And
Right.
Christian Wood is nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying DPOY right now, but like future DPOY player. Jalen Green's that's good.
Yeah, it's just like
Scotty Barnes was compared to Draymond Green, Pascal Siakam.
Pascal Siakam one's interesting.
It is interesting.
Taller and bulkier Michael Carter Williams. That makes sense at the time. You know?
Well,
I like the Draymond
the
Green.
Draymond Green, yeah. I was like playmaking and the forward
I think
style
more
playing,
athletic,
yeah.
more
More
athletic
athletic.
Draymond
Yeah,
Green.
but definitely, and a much better shooter, and is going to be a much
Yeah.
better shooter
Oh,
than
yeah.
Draymond.
Hey man,
for
Draymond
sure.
had that 1 year.
Yeah, well, hey man, I'm not saying Draymond's a bad shooter.
He's a bad shooter. He's a bad shooter now.
Hey man,
Let's take it down a notch.
yeah, I'm not saying Draymond's a bad shooter.
No,
I'm
he's a
just
bad
saying
shooter. He's a bad shooter. He's a bad shooter. Yeah.
Well, maybe
I
now.
would say.
but
1 year he was good. 1 year, man.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to that forever.
But yeah,
Draymond.
it's like, and obviously, like you expect, it's that,
That one-
point forward role that
Yeah,
is very similar between the and it's the intelligence, right?
Yeah.
That's like similar, but
Yeah, 2015, 2016 shot 38%.
too bad.
And remember that first half of the finals game? He had like
Fuck.
5 threes in the first
Was
half.
that
Game 7.
2015, 2016?
2016
He has
finals.
like a weird shot form too.
Oh, yeah.
Like his shot form's
The
kind of
backpack.
strange.
The backpack
yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
That was the year they lost to LeBron in the finals, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he had 5 threes in the first half of Game 7. And one of my favorite players. All right, that's all I have for the Bucks game, though. If you guys want to get into our guards.
What? Who said? Did you say that? Who said that?
I said that.
Oh,
Well, I
you
said
said.
that.
Okay.
All
We have
right.
an audience today.
Yeah,
by
we
the
have
way.
an audience. Marvel's just chilling. Marvel's been chilling in the back this whole time.
Don't-
I don't know if the mic would be even able to pick up what.
No,
what
there's
she
no
said.
way.
No,
Yeah.
There's no
no
way.
way.
no.
Every time, kids, like when we're talking
We
here.
need subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mara's like just Marvel colon. on the screen.
Well, every time we're like talking on here, like I can always kind of hear an echo, but every time I go back and start editing,
You can't
I
hear
can't.
anything.
You can't really
No.
hear anything, so it's fine. So.
You guys want to get into our lists?
Let's do it.
Let's get into
I'm
the
excited.
list.
All right.
I'm excited.
So
You don't go ahead and explain.
yeah,
it.
actually, Elias, go ahead. Yeah, you kind of do
Um,
with the guy who's organizing it. So
Yeah, I'm that guy.
I'm kind of
that guy.
The guy.
pal.
I'm that guy. You know,
pal.
yeah,
I'm that guy, pal. So I explained at the start, but I'll explain it again. So
I need some water.
for the next 5 weeks, every Monday podcast, we're going to rank our top 10 positions in the NBA by player. So today we're doing top 10 point guards. Next Monday we'll do top 10 shooting guards, et cetera, et cetera. So what Sam and I are doing, just given that we watch the NBA more than Luke does, we're ranking our top 10 point guards, period. Based off like skills, like
The 10
typical,
best point guards in the NBA.
yeah,
right now.
typical top 10 point guard ranking. Luke is doing his top 10 favorite point guards to watch. And and then so again, I just want to reiterate, Monday episodes are going to be more general NBA based, I guess.
Or just like
instead
a
of-
more
I guess
malleable format. Like
yeah,
the format
like-
can change.
Yeah,
and-
like so, like the typical Thursday episodes, they're going to be totally 100% Raptors, and then these ones will be like we'll still do their game recaps like we just did.
You're always going to get your
but-
Raptors talk.
Yeah, but we might do something like this. Or we might do something else with the whole NBA, or we might do something Raptor specific, just more laid back. Yeah.
All right, you
anyway,
guys want to get into it?
let's do it.
Uh,
So who wants to?
I
Who wants
can-
to go
I'll give
first?
my,
Mine's my phone.
my number 10 point guard.
Okay, wait, I'm excited.
All right, my man, making this list was so
Yeah,
hard,
this
but
is I think it's gonna be the hardest.
oh
one.
yeah, I've been switching it, but I finalized it. A guy we just talked about, my 10th point guard is Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
Dude is one of probably on this list. He is probably the second best defender on this list. Probably one of the 3-4 best point guard defenders in the whole NBA. Lethal 3-point shooter. Has become an
Clutch
amazing
player, super clutch player.
Has become so good this season, which I didn't think he could do, but he's proved me wrong, and he's really become like a true point guard, orchestrating the offense, scoring better at the rim and at mid range than he ever
10's quite low for.
Well, you'll see, man. It's hard.
It's
all
hard.
right, all right.
And
It's tough.
his stats on the year, he's averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and shooting almost 40% from 3. So, and he's shooting 45% from the field, which is like by far a career best for him. So that's my number 10.
All right, my number 10. This is so hard again. I was between literally 5 guys
Yeah.
for
Oh,
my
yeah.
number 10 spot.
Jeez, you guys really put it. I remember you guys. I
hard,
like
man.
looked in the group chat and it's just like, woo, I'm like scrolling
We're,
for
like, talking
fucking
about it.
pages on pages. You guys are talking about this. I'm like,
So-
holy crap! You guys had an argument in there
Yeah.
too.
I still don't feel confident about this, but this is my 10th guy. My 10th best point guard in the NBA is Dejante Murray.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I wanted to get him on there.
Yeah,
So.
I had to do it, man. It was between at the very end. It was between mostly him, Jamal Murray, and De'Aaron Fox.
Interesting.
But I
Wow, we're gonna have very different lists.
really, yeah. So I picked Dejante Murray because we're not just basing it purely off this season, but this season he has looked so good, so good. He is exceeding all expectations when they drafted him. He was 29th overall pick. He is amazing, man. His defense is top tier.
I think he's the best, or maybe second best point guard defender in the whole
I
league.
totally agree.
Yeah.
His length is on another is insane.
Yeah.
He's 6'7", I believe. 6'4". That's way shorter than that. But his arms are
Yeah.
so long.
There's so many guys in the NBA who just have such deceiving heights,
Yeah.
man.
And length. Yeah.
He's averaging 2 steals a game, and he's averaging 19 points, 8.2 assists, 8.6 rebounds as the Spurs starting point guard. Shooting 45% from the field, 33% for 3. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but he can hit them. The thing that really separated me, the other guys from Dejante Murray, was just his defense.
The defense
was
is
huge.
insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I think he still has so much offensive potential too. I'm not going for potential, but I can see him getting up to
If that
22
3-point
points a game.
shot gets a little higher.
Yeah, because this is his first year on the Spurs where he's like the guy now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think getting through this year, learning a bunch. Next year he'll still probably be the guy because I don't see
Yeah.
the Spurs getting anybody else huge.
He's,
Then I think he can be an all-star next year.
he's shooting 73% of the rim, which is absolutely insane.
For a point guard.
That's
Jeez,
insane.
that's
For a point guard.
crazy.
It's literally his length, man.
Holy
he can go
crap.
over and he can jump
He's
out
got
of the building, too.
athleticism. Yeah, that's a great pick.
I really haven't watched much of
He was one of my last
Dejante
cuts.
Murray or the Spurs at all. So
He's,
I haven't watched
he's one of the
much.
only reasons to watch, other than Devin Vassell.
Devin
but,
Vassell, your
boy.
boyfriend.
I was about to say some shit, but I can't say that on the podcast. So,
Don't say that.
well, I'll tell you guys off the air.
Definitely cutting that out. Cutting that out, man.
What? I didn't say anything.
Shut up. Okay.
All right, he's your.
You're digging yourself so deep.
Me? What did I do?
No, okay, well, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Tell us your point guard, Luke.
Okay. So, I feel like I'm missing out on the joke. I don't understand. What did I miss? Okay.
I'll tell you the trick after.
So
We'll tell you
again,
after the podcast.
my top 10 point guards. Also, again, before we get into mine, first of all, I did not do mine based on any particular metric. So I'm not basing mine off of statistics or anything. These are just guys I have watched in the past and enjoy watching, and I like the way they play. I think I'm entertained when I see them on the court.
Yep.
And then also mine are also in no particular order. I didn't.
You're basically just naming your 10 favorite point guards
I'm naming
to
my
watch.
10 favorite point guards to watch right now. So the guy
I'm interested for this, yeah.
what's that?
I'm interested to hear your list.
Me too.
The guy who I have at my 10th spot is Trey Young because like I
would go higher for Trey.
well,
Well,
like I
okay.
said, there's no particular
okay,
there's no
right,
particular
right.
order.
You just said 10, so that's
Yeah.
okay,
So
you're right.
so Trey Young I had because I was very upset because I actually liked watching Atlanta back even when Dennis Schroeder played there, and it was fun to see Atlanta get some fire. You know, some real fire, right? It had been so long since Atlanta has gotten really anything, and even when Dennis was there for a long time, it was still very
they
stagnant.
had that one really good year was like they had Jeff T. Corver, Carroll,
Yeah.
Millsap,
They didn't do
Horford,
anything.
and they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then right after that, everybody just left.
Yeah, it was.
And then it was Dennis Schroeder and Tim Hardaway Jr. And that's
Well, because
it.
those guys were getting older, right? And
Yeah.
I'm getting a phone call here. I'll have to.
Can't talking about Trey.
Podcast right now. Call you back. It was just Tayo, and I actually was gonna say something about Tayo recently, but for one of my picks here, because Tayo
okay.
mentioned it to me and
And number
made
9,
me
Tayo.
I love how he plays it
Shout
down
out
flex.
Tayo,
I love how
yeah.
he plays it down flex. Yeah.
You see his dunk recently?
yeah, but so I just put Trey Young because it was so cool to see some fire going there, and I think Trey is such a perfect. I don't know if you guys have Trey on your list. I'm sure you do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
But and I'll briefly mention this now. But Trey, I feel like is the start or was one of the starter kids that we were seeing in the NBA who grew up watching shooters and like
Yeah.
people like Ray
Yeah,
Allen and all these
exactly.
guys
And
like
Steph Curry.
and Steph
Yeah.
Curry, right? So it's like seeing all these guys play and we're introducing a new culture of shooting into the NBA, and so Trey is really embodying that.
It's really
that
cool because
culture.
like you see guys like KD, Kawhi, DeRozan, they all watch Kobe growing up. They're all like killer mid-range shooters, right? Now we're getting to this next like LaMelo.
But the 3-point
shooting
games
deep
makes
threes.
it so much more interesting.
Yeah, like LaMelo shooting deep threes. You got Trey shooting deep threes, and like it's really interesting to see the game evolve like that.
Well, when the NBA was a more aggressive game, the 2-point is what really mattered, right? Like the 3-point is not a priority. It wasn't never a priority in the NBA for a long time. It was almost like you do everything you can and then see if you can get a 3. You know what I mean?
And if you had a guy that could shoot, then you'd
Right,
make
and
sure he could be open if you needed him, kind of thing.
Exactly, because shooting wasn't necessarily like prioritized.
Wasn't a
Even
necessity.
as in practices, people
Yeah.
weren't even like, "Oh, shooting is like a big deal."
I mean, it wasn't a necessity by any means.
No, but then once we start getting guys like Curry and guys who can really change the game, and even guys like Ray Allen, it's like that's a real start of like, whoa, we can change the game here with some of the shooting stuff, right?
worth
And
more.
Exactly, and I feel like that's kind of where we got softer with the fouls because the shooting fouls can get a lot more tricky.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like we shooting fouls can be. When you foul somebody going down low, it's pretty much obvious whether you fouled somebody or not. You know what I mean? But with shooting fouls, there's so much nuance that has to do with it, right? Like think about how many rules they've just added within the past couple of years about the legs being kicked out,
Yeah.
the James Harden moving into the shot. Like these are all foul calls and that have been added into the NBA and rules at the end of the day strictly based on shooting,
Yeah.
right? So those are natural evolutions of the way games are going, and also I would even argue that the challenge call is also related to shooting as well because those clutch shots at the end of games where there
Yeah.
could be fouls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge compilation of different reasons, but yeah. Anyway, so let's move it on.
All right. Do you want to? My 9th best point guard in the NBA. Like, oh my God, this is. So I went with Lamella Ball.
Whoa.
Cool.
Yep, I went with Lamella Ball, man. I'm taking it. He didn't make your list.
Yeah, Marvel's just
He
like
didn't.
I don't
No?
even know.
Okay.
Like you guys
He
are
wasn't even
arguing about.
I mean, he was consideration for a second, but
Yeah, I've got.
I
I've
considered him for a second.
got
Oh,
Lamella Ball, man.
I had a list of my top 15 point guards, and I got him down. He was just barely 15th for me.
Really? So
Really?
Lamella Ball, man, on the season's giving you 20 points, almost 8 rebounds, and almost 8.5 assists. He's shooting 39% from 3. He's got one of the best assist percentages in the league. He's just like, he really runs that team. They're one of the fastest teams in the league, and that's because of him. He's always pushing in transition. I don't know if he's the type of player who will get better than this spot just because he lacks athleticism and strength. But I just love how he's really proved me wrong because I didn't think he could be this good right away.
Yeah, no.
I,
I
And
think he's proved a lot of guys wrong. I
and
think
especially-
because of the
shooting.
whole.
It's the shooting.
Yeah.
Man. The shooting is like He's a legit shooter.
Yeah.
And the thing is, remember there was a lot of talk about him in the league with his weird form too,
Yeah.
because he's got a weird form as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't jump very much
And
when
look,
he
look,
shoots.
it's getting better still though. His elbows, he used to
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He used to be really bad, but he still does. He still does the out like the thumb thing, the pushing it with your
And
hands.
his elbow's still a bit out, but it's not huge.
And,
And it doesn't affect his time that it takes for him to
No,
take
he
a
shoots
shot
quick.
like
He
it
shoots quick.
did for Lonzo.
Yeah.
It's quick.
It's-
I want to say just based off my reaction, I think LaMelo's awesome. I
Yeah.
think he's a great player. Just the point guard position is so stacked.
Yeah.
in the
Oh, no,
NBA.
I know.
It was so hard. And the reason I didn't go with LaMelo was because he's a second-year player, and also I feel like I just haven't seen enough consistently from him.
Sure.
Yet. That's the only reason why.
I also picked him.
Kind of cut him off pretty quick.
The intelligence is there though.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
he's
Oh,
going to turn it.
absolutely. I think
He's one of the
like-
best passers in the league
at
already.
the end of the season, he'll mostly be on my top 10 list. But
I,
that's the reason.
another
why.
reason why I picked him is because I think his defense.
It'd be fun to
is-
do this again, like at the end of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I totally should.
His defense is really inconsistent, but he's shown some real off-ball flashes. I don't think his on-ball defense will ever be great, but he can switch 1 through 3 and hang enough. And then his because he's so smart off-ball, he can get into passing lanes and just really get him and go. And
I
man,
think
that shooting is just. And he started the year, he wouldn't drive at all or get into the paint really, and he's really started doing that in the last few weeks. He's actually getting to the rim.
I think I
into the
disagree
floater.
with what you said about him not getting much higher on the list. I think he can be like third best point.
Really?
guard.
Okay.
I think he can. I think it's really high
Yeah,
potential.
I
dude.
think he totally can. The athleticism scares me a little bit. 'Cause he's
But I
gotten,
mean, but you see guys like Luca who are
Yeah,
athletic
that's
at all,
true.
And I think he's more athletic than
And
Luca.
Lamella can definitely
Yeah.
throw down. Like he's
He's
quick.
quick.
he's quick.
Yeah, he's quick. So
he's just
I
not explosive.
No, but that's the thing is like we've seen how many times have we seen Lamelo just like have an absolute crazy crossover. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
because of how quick and smart he is. You know what I mean? Like not only is it a quick crossover, but it's like he knows which one to do at a specific time. He knows his game, his own personal game
Yeah.
so well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's almost like
And
when we were.
he's only played 75 games in the NBA.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, my reaction was so like, but it's like no, like I totally think that's a legitimate
Yeah.
pick. I was
Man,
thrown off guard.
8
but-
through like 15, 16
Exactly,
is like
it's so
interchangeable. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It's like I cut him off pretty quick because
Well,
like I was like, he hasn't been in the league long enough, so I'll cut him off. But
Who's your 9 then?
my 9 is Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
Yeah, so we already talked about Fred VanVleet. He's I think he is. If the Raptors have a better record by the time All Star comes around, he's our All Star. At this point, he's just he's been so consistent all year. His defense is there every game. We just talked about his defense against Drew Holiday was unreal, and we already talked about him, but there's not much else to say.
My ninth point guard was SGA.
Nice.
And so like I didn't like again my no particular
Yeah, yeah.
rankings, but SGA was a guy who I think was very doubted. I think a lot of people did not really think he had necessarily the potential that he's actually showing he can provide the league with. And I think he's still kind of slept on. I think people are still not giving him the proper.
No, just because he's in OKC. and-
Yeah, exactly. He's in OKC. He's also Canadian, and like, not that that really matters, but like at the
You're
end
right,
of the,
no, you're right,
but
you're
at the end of the, you know what I mean? Like they like to talk about as many of their home team players as possible, right? And a lot of times the only reason Canadian players get recognition is if they're doing really, really well. So, you know, and I like the way SGA plays, man. I think he's another guy who every time I see him play gets better.
Yeah.
He's getting smarter. His shooting's getting better. He's one of those guys that like, you just really enjoy watching him play. You know, he's just a really smart
Very
guy.
unique, very
steady
unique
and
type of
unique,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And he's another one of those guys who I his attitude, you know what I mean? Like he's a calm, cool, collected person who like similar to that baseline Fred VanVleet thing. He's not the type of guy who's
gonna
gonna
phase like that.
No, he's not the type of guy to get like freak out or anything like that. And I like that because like that provides to me more consistency, you know, when from a player
definitely.
when you see them have an emotional baseline.
Yeah,
you know?
if you're less emotional in that way, you're definitely more consistent. Because when you get too emotional and you get in your own head, then you'll miss certain
Totally.
Absolutely.
So Sam,
All right,
what was
my
your
number
8?
8. Another guy we talked about today is Drew Holiday.
Okay, that's my number 8 also.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already talked about Drew a ton on this podcast, but I think he's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
I think he's the best defender on my top 10
Yep,
list.
he's
definitely.
same here. Like he's so strong.
And like I said, his shot creation is so underrated.
It's so
I think.
underrated.
It's so good. And he's like, you saw in the finals, like all
Yeah.
that playoff run. And
Above average playmaker, can get to the rim, can finish at the rim.
I almost put him over my number 7 guy. You'll find out who he is in a
Interesting.
second because he won a championship and he's shown he can be a winner and I love watching him play, man,
Yeah.
just because he's so shifty, he's so solid. He doesn't turn the ball over a ton.
He does just a lot. He can be like shift into a bunch of different roles.
It's so
Yeah.
crazy
He
to
could be
think
on
somebody
ball,
like
off ball.
Drew Holiday is like got a chip, and CP3 still doesn't.
I know.
have a chip. It's like some of those fucking like Patrick McCaw. Does he have like 3 rings?
rings.
Like he's just not even playing in the
And
NBA.
Chris Paul
like,
has 0.
yeah, like
Danny Green has 3 rings.
Robert Horry was 6 rings,
5,
5 rings.
6.
oh my god.
he was a good player, Robert Ory. Like at
He
least he
was,
was better
but-
than Danny Green.
yeah.
Danny Green was a good player, but
Robert
not
Horry was like
anymore.
the prime role
Yeah.
player.
all right, Luke, who's your number 8?
Wait, did Elias go?
Well, we
first?
have the
Drew
same
Holiday
one.
also.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Drew
yeah.
Holiday as
Oh,
well.
interesting.
Wonder if-
My number 8 was well, and like again, not
Yeah.
ranked. Like if I was ranking them, I'd put this guy probably closer to the beginning, but
But
Jamal
you-
Murray.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay,
Jamal
yes,
Murray was
yeah.
my number. Wait, 8? Is it
8?
8?
Yeah,
Yeah. Jamal Murray's another guy. Well, Canadian,
Canadian.
so it's cool. But
So he's cool.
but
He passed the vibe check.
yeah, oh, he definitely passed the vibe check. But he's such a goofball, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like.
He's a funny guy,
Like, he's
yeah.
a funny guy, and I like it. Not on
He
the
is
court.
definitely a goofball.
Yeah, not on the
Too.
court. I mean, but like just as a person, he's just so funny, and like he's got such a great approach to the game of basketball. He works really well with his teammates. He's a positive person. His performances are so. I feel like I've never really seen much of an underwhelming performance from Jamal Murray, unless somebody's like really, really trying to shut him down.
Remember the bubble playoffs? Him and Donovan Mitchell, they both scored like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just going. Oh man, Jamal
That was
Murray,
one
that
of
whole
the craziest
playoff run.
performance. That was
Every playoff run he's been in, he's been just like
He's
he
gotten better.
steps his game up in the playoffs.
He's gotten
Oh,
better.
yeah.
He's gotten better every year. That's why it sucks he's out right now.
I know.
Yeah, it really
love Jamal-
does, man. The
I love
league,
Jamal
I
Murray.
feel like the league is a little less exciting because guys like Jamal Murray are not playing right now, man.
I almost put him in my 10 spot, but
Really?
it's like,
Oops.
yeah, it was between him and Dejante and De'Aaron for me.
Interesting. Yeah. Like Jamal Murray, like his shot creating is just like insane. Some of the shots he hits are just like what? And he's like got crazy athleticism. Like you don't think of it.
Yeah.
Then he's all of a sudden he just jumps out of nowhere.
yeah, he just dunks on
Yeah.
someone like
He's averaged.
Oh wow, you can jump.
He's
Like,
Yeah.
averaged 4.8 assists the past 3 seasons.
interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
think it would be that.
funny.
and that's
I didn't know it would be
fucking
that high.
Yeah, I was looking at like, is
Yeah.
he still, because he used to,
That feels high for
he
me.
was more of a shooting guard the first
Yeah.
when he first came
He
to the
honestly
league.
is more
He
of a
still is,
shooting guard.
But
like because
he's-
Jokic is kind of the point guard.
he's averaging 5 assists. He averaged
Yeah.
4.8 assists the past 3 seasons.
Wow,
also.
that's yeah. He's I love watching Jamal Murray play.
Yeah,
And
man,
his
super good.
His shooting splits are pretty unreal.
Yeah, it's just like his shot, like the shots he hits.
Yeah,
Are
it's
just like,
so ridiculous. He's one of those players that you can get demoralized watching if he's
Yeah.
playing against a team that you like because he's just like,
what? Yeah,
man, there's nothing you can do to stop
No.
him.
We
Like,
were talking about Dejante Murray shooting like 74% at the rim.
yeah.
Jamal Murray shoots 82% at the
Last
rim.
year,
Last year.
healthy season. Wow,
that's
And he played
fucking
48
crazy.
games.
Wow.
He shot 82% from the.
and that's a
at
guy
the
who's
rim.
not like he's really athletic, but
But
he's not.
he doesn't have much like
Length or
length or anything.
anything.
He's
Yeah.
pretty stubby.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool. All right, number
So
7.
let's number 7.
My number 7th best point guard in the NBA is also one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA. It is Ja Morant.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I love Ja. Like his season this year, he started off insane. He's been good ever since.
I had this. Sorry, I better say this right now. I have the same number 7. Was
Oh.
Ja.
Like
I do not.
Ja.
Well, mine again was in no order,
only-
but like
I think-
it's kind of coincidental that
You
we
two are
had.
gonna talk
yeah.
next.
I think Ja can be in the top 3 in a few years. Like,
Dude,
the guy
oh.
can do so much on the floor.
This is actually, it's funny that Tayo called me. Shout out to Tayo, our boy Tayo, because he was talking to me about Ja, and he was saying, look, man, like Ja is like 6'3", like
Not
6,
even. I
yeah,
think
like
he's like 6'2",
yeah, 6'2", 6'3". He's like just as tall as a lot of the guys who play on like Dalhousie's team and a lot of
Right.
university teams. He's dunking on like full-grown male NBA players
He
who are
jumped,
like,
he jumped over Kevin Love.
yeah, like that's incredible,
Over.
man.
He's
He
leading the
cleared
league. He's leading the
Kevin
league in
Love.
points in the paint, and
Which
he's
is just
he's a
ridiculous,
6
man.
He's a 6'2" guard who's like 170.
Yeah, and like
he's leading. He's scoring more in the paint than Giannis is.
that's
Yeah.
just so
And Anthony
crazy.
Davis.
His 3-point
That's-
shot. His
Oh my god.
You would like no one would guess it. Like you're like who's scoring the most in the paint? You would say a million
Oh,
guys over
yeah.
jump. before
his
Ja
3-point shot, he's up to 35% now. That's a lot better than
Oh,
it was
yeah.
last year. Like he's so exciting to watch.
Yeah.
His floater's like really developed. His playmaking is like absurd. I mean the defense is really bad, but maybe that can get better someday. He's got the athleticism for it to be better.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
I'd
yeah,
say
like
he's
Ja
making
Morant.
up for it in the offensive
Yeah,
end as
yeah.
of right now, and he's one of those. He's definitely one of those players that is like you can let it slide when he's not the greatest
He's a
defensive
star.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like okay, when you think about somebody like Kyrie, like okay, do we really depend
No,
on
yeah,
Kyrie
exactly.
for defense? Like no.
Do you guys think Ja could be a #1 player on our championship team?
Can we say that again, sorry?
Do you think Ja could be a number one player on a championship team?
Wow, he's so young. I don't know if I can really answer that question
ask
right
me in
now.
2 years.
Yeah, ask
Okay,
me in
sure,
2 years.
I'll write it down. I'll write it down.
I love
you, I
him.
got you.
Sam.
I think he's going to make his first All-Star game.
Hey Siri, remind me in 2 years.
He's
I'll let you turn on.
yeah. Who's your 7?
My 7 is Trey Young.
Trey Young. Whoa,
Really?
that's your 7.
That's my 7. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
No, Trey Young. So I was between. So these two, Ja. So I'll say also Ja's my number 6.
Okay.
So I had those two pretty close. The real reason why I put Trey Young below is because his defense is literally the worst
It's
defense
awful.
in the league. It's literally
Yeah.
number 500
Yeah.
if there's 500 players in the league, bottom. So
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
I gotta take that into consideration.
Yeah,
how
it's
bad
really
his defense is. He's so small. He's not very good at scoring on the rim. He started the season pretty slow because of the whole new rules and stuff like that. He's definitely getting back to a flow. He turns the ball over quite a bit. I get it though. He's passing a lot.
Yeah, he's always at the ball in his hands.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Ja brings more to a team than Trey Young does. I think because I think if you're playing,
I think I'd probably agree. Just a more diversified skill set you're getting from Ja.
I don't think Trey can like. He gets compared to Steph Curry a lot. I don't think Trey is very good off the ball.
No, he's not. He doesn't move.
And I think Ja, while he is way better with the ball in his hands, he can play off the ball more. Not necessarily coming off screens and shooting, but he can cut like crazy and everything. Trey, once he's inside the 3-point line, he's a liability on offense in my opinion.
His floater.
His floater's decent.
His floater's pretty good.
And his passing.
But then like if you're playing against like Rudy Gobert or something, like if there's a big down there.
I love Trey. Man, I don't know. He's
I'm
a lot
not-
higher.
I'm
on
not-
See,
my
that's
list.
the thing is he's
He's a lot
exciting to
higher?
watch. He's exciting to
He's
watch.
lots higher. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My top 5 were easy.
Oh no. Yeah. Mine's
Trey.
then, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Um,
But yeah, so like, not to knock. I think Trey Young's an amazing player, but just it was between him and Ja, and his defense really is dropping for me, and I haven't seen him be consistent for long.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
last season,
again, like he came in the same year as Luka. What is
Yeah.
that? 3 years ago? 4 years ago.
now,
So he's he's still kind of getting
Yeah,
into
for
it. And the
sure. Yeah,
COVID
for
thing
sure.
has messed up
he
it with
he
everybody.
really impressed me in the playoffs last year, though. He was.
he did do great in the playoffs last year, but I
I always
just
keep
don't know if he
forgetting
can do that
that.
again and stuff. Like I just
Yeah.
I just don't know if Trey can be better than this how he is now either. I think this is Trey Young for career.
Interesting.
I just don't think his game's very diverse, which is
Right.
a huge problem for me. So that's why I put Ja over
Fair
him.
All right, on
enough.
to
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So
Fair enough. Do you not?
Oh,
the
yeah,
knuckle
that,
tats.
yeah,
The
that-
knuckle
yeah.
tats.
Is it like
Fair.
ENUF?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Enough.
funny.
Fair enough.
Yo.
Shout out Cody Co.
Oh yeah, that's what that's from. I remember
Yeah.
that now.
See,
Yeah.
remember,
I
idiot.
remember. Sorry.
We're just capping. I'm just capping.
all
Yeah,
right,
he's
on to-
capping.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's really-
seriously, if you don't do that, I'll turn
Yeah.
it-
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
I'm
turn it
sorry.
all off.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, you'll be like kicked out and stuff. So, yeah.
That's-
Marvel
I
will be
get
the new host of the RapChat podcast.
No. Yeah. I have all trust in her to do it.
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
See, she knows all about
She knows
the
more
Raptors.
than
So
you.
she's
She
coming
knows
for
more
your
than
job. Fuck. What even are we joking about right now? Okay, wait. So
All right, number 6.
yeah, number 6.
I said my
Wait,
number 6. My number 6 was Ja.
Okay,
So
my
do you
number
want and you had the same 7.
7 is
7.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So my number 6 best point guard in the NBA is Chris Paul.
Crazy.
I like Chris Paul a lot. I think he's a great player.
Put Trey over Chris Paul.
Yeah, I did. Chris Paul.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it, Elias? What are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I put Trey Young over Chris Paul.
I wish we could make some jokes on this podcast, so we can, but
I wish I could punch Sam in the face on the podcast, dude.
Well, no,
Oh man, I can only do that.
I wasn't gonna
off the
quite
podcast.
say that, but
I've
Chris
never
Paul-
punched
I'll
Sam in
mention
the
it after
face.
the
Relax.
podcast.
I've never punched Sam in the face. Okay,
He hasn't.
relax, everybody.
He hasn't. Chris Paul on the season is
Yet.
averaging.
this is the violent RapChat podcast.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
A bonus violent episode every Friday.
Hit our Patreon. I punched Sam in the face.
We're gonna do crazy challenges where if Pascal doesn't shoot over 34%, we're gonna kick Sam in the balls.
This got so out of pocket and off the
What was
rails.
I going to say? Oh yeah, Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
I can make some
Yeah,
way
I'll
worse
tell
jokes.
you. Yo, Chris Paul, let's go. Chris Paul,
Okay, Chris
what's
Paul.
up?
Chris
What's up?
Paul. Oh yeah, Chris Paul. The reason I have Trey Young over Chris Paul is I think Trey Young's game is first of all the injury concerns. I don't know if Chris Paul can hold up throughout a whole season. I don't think
What
a
do
whole
you mean?
postseason.
He
Last
played
year.
70 out of 72
Last year though, he broke down in the playoffs though. Also with Chris Paul, like it's splitting hairs. Here. We're totally splitting hairs.
Down, but
We're splitting hairs here. But Chris Paul's a way better defender. Well, not way better, but he's a better defender than
He's
Trey
a
Young.
way better defender than Trey Young.
Okay,
Way
sure. Yeah, he's a better defender.
Like you could say Luka Doncic is pretty much a way better defender than Trey Young. Trey Young is not. Trey Young does not
There's
defend.
only one guy in this list that we haven't talked about yet that might be as bad as Trey Young in defense. But we'll come to him later. Chris Paul, though, he's giving you 14 and 10. Like, he's a great engine of offense. Like, super smart player, one of the smartest players in the league. So good at finding shooters. He's so good at finding Ayton on the roll.
All I'm hearing is reasons why he's better than Trey Young.
Well, the reason why he's not better than Trey Young is because he cannot physically get into the paint. Like, he has nothing left in his legs, man. Like, his game operates in the mid-range and out.
It's so good.
And Trey Young though can
So good.
I can rely I can rely on Trey Young being able to, when things get mucked up, able to get into the paint and break down a defense and find a big man. And Chris Paul at this age, I don't know if I can rely on that every time down the floor. And also just like Trey Young scoring a little, obviously way better. He's averaging 25 a game.
I understand that.
And I think he's like a Chris Paul's a better passer, but I think Trey Young's comparable. Like, he's still a really way above average passer. One of the best in the league. All right, Luke, you're 6.
So my number 6, and we don't have to talk about this. We can just keep going. Was Fred VanVleet.
Okay,
we talked about Fred a lot, so we can keep moving.
All right, my 5, kind of already mentioned it, is Trey Young.
Okay, so my 5 is Chris Paul.
All right.
So, man, that's great. Okay, so looking at just shooting splits here for
these
for a
next
hot
like 5
second.
top 5 for you two. You guys are about to have like a heated debate.
Well, we better not debate like number 1.
So no, there's no way. Dude, Chris Paul's efficiency is insane, and especially for the player he is, and he averages almost 10 assists a game this season, over 10 assists a game this season, and 2 turnovers.
He's an amazing passer.
And I just think the way he commands the game, he controls the game. Trey Young can control the game as well, but not as an efficient level as Chris Paul. Right. I think Chris Paul literally controls the game, and the whole game revolves.
Yeah, the game goes through Chris.
So I think the
on
Suns,
both sides too, and just the way the Suns can win basketball games because of Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
I think Booker's their best player though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I think the reason they win games is because of Chris Paul more than Devin Booker. I think more wins comes from Chris Paul. than Devin Booker.
My thing is, I think if the Suns, I think you put CP and in Trey's situation where he doesn't have another star like Devin Booker and Trey Young. Not saying that.
Yeah, but we've already seen that happen with Chris Paul a lot.
But now with this current version of Chris Paul.
Wait,
what are you saying?
I
don't think Chris Paul can be like running your offense, be your one guy, your one hub.
He can't.
And I think Trey Young can be that hub of offense.
Chris Paul needs other people around him. That's part of what his game.
Wait, so are you saying if you switch Trey Young, Chris Paul, and put Trey Young on that Phoenix Suns team, they're not as good. They're not.
Maybe. I don't know. They have a lot more
scoring. That's where I'd probably obviously I don't know as much, and I can't really provide as much into the insights. But I would say that if you put Trey Young on the Suns,
their defense is gone
I don't think you have anyone being the conductor, the person who's running everything and communicating the show. Like, I feel like one of the reasons why Chris is so good is because he just has so many years of NBA experience.
I feel like he knows what to do in every scenario.
Yeah,
I feel like Trey Young
he's seen everything.
I feel like Trey Young just gets caught a lot on then just then throws a turnover. You know, that's really. I think
Trey Young still Trey Young 4 turnovers for 9 assists, and he's got the ball in his hands every time on the floor.
I think Trey Young is the 6.5th best in the league because him and Ja are really interchangeable for me. I think Chris Paul is a better point guard than Trey Young right now because he wins you way more basketball games. Trey Young will not bring you to the finals with Devin Booker because that defense is horrible. Trey Young's defense really bothers me because it's the worst defense I've ever seen in my life.
It's really bad. Well,
I'm not even exaggerating.
My next guy's rivaling him for this season or last few seasons. So who's your 5? Or was it VanVleet? Was your number 5 VanVleet?
I'm like, wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.
So my number 4. Wow, I had so much trouble with 4 and 3. I put Damian Lillard at 4.
Me too.
I've been lower on Damian Lillard the most, just comparing him to the other, Curry in general. Dame this year has been awful. I think it's because of his abdominal issue.
He's picked it up
a little bit. Those numbers are a little.
I would call him awful 2 weeks ago. I would call him.
Well, he's been injured as well.
Sorry, wait. I didn't say my number 5.
I said VanVleet.
No, that was my number 6.
Oh.
So are we on 5 now?
We're on 4.
Sorry, my 5 was RJ Barrett.
Point
guard.
He's a shooting guard.
Oh, what? I had it looked up and it said it was
He's listed as a
point guard. Yeah.
No way. We're both looking this up right now.
Either said point guard or shooting guard.
Really? It's
He
a
listed
it's
as
a small forward, homie.
online, yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
What are you looking on?
I don't know. I was just on Google and I was
Oh.
like looking through all the teams and stuff. And
Ah,
I'm
see, that's where you went wrong.
like, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Then we'll skip mine then. For some
Yeah,
reason,
I love RJ, man.
No, we talked about RJ Barrett for a second. I love RJ Barrett also.
well, also he's a playmaker too. Like that's one of the reasons why I liked him. You know what I mean? Like he's and this the improvement that we've seen in him.
He's improved a lot.
Is a lot like
His
His-
defense,
his
defense is way better.
his efficiency is still kind of wacky. Actually, very wacky, but this season.
His
But
defense has gone a lot better.
yeah, it has gotten a lot better. He's way more reliable than he used to be as a player. in
sorry
general.
guys, my bad.
Hey man,
Well,
it's okay.
I'll
We all make
I'll,
mistakes.
For a while I had 11 on here and
Hey,
then
we
I
all
was
make
like,
mistakes.
Oh,
He put Trey Young over Chris Paul. We all make mistakes.
fuck.
All right, Dame. I think
I'm joking. I don't
our,
care that much, just so you know.
I don't care either.
Okay.
Our
It's
list. I
like
think,
white knuckling under the table. Like,
I don't care,
I
Sam.
don't care that much.
I don't care. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our lists are gonna be very similar.
Grinding the teeth.
I
you
think
can
I think
hear.
our
The same list probably. The reason I have Dame at 4 and not higher is because that defense is like absolute. I think
so-
he's as much to blame as his teammates are.
I think
for their playoff problems because his defense is that bad.
my 4 and 3 have both been very disappointing, and the reason I put Dame 4 and the other guy 3 is because
The defense.
of the defense.
And also, I don't think Dame is as good as
As a
a
playmaker.
playmaker.
Who's your 3?
My 3 is James Harden.
Okay, me too. Yeah, okay.
I think James Harden is just a better.
Oh, I didn't even
overall.
like put James Harden on my list.
Oh, I mean, he's not fun to watch. You're doing fun. most
Yeah.
fun to watch.
I actually
I
love
don't-
watching James Harden.
I
Really?
used to watch him when
I hate watching James
I thought
Harden.
he
I
was
love
fun
passing.
on the Rockets, but ever since he left the Rockets, I
love his
I
passing.
hate watching James Harden, dude. He bricks up so many. He bricks up so many
I
shots.
know on the Nets, yeah. Like
And
yeah.
all he was before. I mean, now he's getting more used to the whole new foul thing. But he used to literally just be brick threes until like every fourth 3 would go
Yeah.
in, and then he just drive in and get like, you know.
I know. I love watching his
foul.
passing though. That's what I really liked watching. But yeah, I think the reason I have Harden over Dame is because Harden's a much better playmaker. He's a much better defender. Even though he's not a very
both
good
their
defender.
scorings have been down, but Dame relies on the scoring way more than James Harden.
Yep.
does.
And James Harden's gonna impact the game when the shots aren't falling.
exactly. Dame impacts the game always because defenders are so
gravity,
drawn to
yeah.
him. But in terms of production,
Yeah.
James Harden could produce way more without scoring. than
James Harden
Dame
going
would.
5 for 20 is a lot different than
Than
Dame
Dame
going 5
absolutely
for 20.
because Harden will have 12 assists with it.
Yeah, and like you can switch James Harden onto a 4, and it's not a basket, even though Damian Lillard,
Yeah.
whoever he's guarding, is probably going for good crazy numbers.
Yeah.
All right, who was your 4?
Third or
4 and 3 because we
yeah,
gave both.
because we both.
Oh,
took James
so
Harden.
my number 4 was Lonzo, and obviously again, no particular rankings, but Lonzo is just a player that I fucking love watching, man. I
love watching him.
He's so fucking smart, man. Like he's just like his intelligence with basketball.
his stats don't show good.
No, not even close. Like because Chicago just beat the Nets. And like everyone's talking about DeMar and Zach, like, because they got most of the points, and it's like Lonzo is again one of these conductor guys. Like he's such a facilitator of the game, and again, very very steady emotional baseline. Like one of those players who I don't think. Other than like his first kind of like year in the league, I don't think I've complained about him. You know what I mean? Like he always
Dude, I was a Lonzo lover all the way through.
I've always believed in Lonzo, man. Yeah.
Part of the reason he's like him and Lamella, they both have special places in my heart because I watched him since Chino.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're-
obviously,
yeah.
we all did in
No,
high
they're
school,
all
streaming the
good.
games on
Yeah.
YouTube and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, for sure. And I always, actually, to be honest, I had a little bit less faith in LaMelo than I did Lonzo, just because
Same, man.
LaMelo was so eccentric, and like he was one of those players that, like, of course, he did the whole Europe thing and the Australia thing, and
I think during Australia, I thought he was going to be better than Lonzo. I saw him being
Oh,
better than
okay.
Lonzo in Australia, but before that, I thought Lonzo was still a better
Lonzo's
player.
defense is so good
Lonzo's
too.
defense is
Yeah,
so
man.
And
good.
his
It's
shooting,
better-
he's a shooter now too.
It's
like-
better than like
Yeah.
LaMelo. I think LaMelo's
a
defense
consistent
is,
shooter as well.
LaMelo's a good. Oh, he's shooting 43% from 3. LaMelo's a good defender, but he's not even really close to
No.
my eyes to
No, no,
Lonzo.
no, no, no,
And
no,
then
no, no.
LaMelo averaged like 7th most steals in the league right now, but he's not even close to Lonzo's level.
Well, like we
defensively.
said, like
Lonzo's a good
the
awful
steals
defender.
don't translate into how good your
But
defense
I
is.
feel like other people do think that, and people are always like, "Oh, they're like the same defender." But
Yeah.
then LaMelo does this more,
No.
puts more
Yeah.
points, and it's like no,
Lonzo
man,
can guard, like-
they are way closer than people
Oh,
think
yeah.
they are.
Excuse me. And so then wait, am I going number 3 then
Yeah,
again?
against
Yeah,
his
yeah,
three.
yeah.
Again, no particular order. This one will be very important that there's no particular
Oh, no.
order.
Okay.
but
You try watching Nabe, I know.
no, it was Stephen Curry, because
Okay.
like again, like I went to high school with a lot of Curry.
I went to high
fans.
school with Steph Curry, so I'm kind of biased.
No, I went to high school with a lot of Stephen Curry fans and guys who really like to watch Golden State, and I was I was always mesmerized watching Curry play. I watched all the finals games when he played all the playoff series, and I would catch some of their season, like regular season games. But I was never a Golden State fan, so like I didn't really spend a whole lot of time watching Steph, and like I really still don't spend a whole. If there's a game on, I'll check it out. And Steph is always performing well, and it's just he's a very exciting player to watch, super fun. I just think in my personal experience, like I just haven't spent enough time to watch him, whereas I've spent enough time probably watching my number one guy, just way more than I have spent watching Steph. But Steph is, I think, one of the, if not the greatest point guard ever to play the game of basketball,
one or two,
and
not lower than 2.
Yeah, so
I think he's one.
Yeah, like if I had to rank, Stephen Curry would be at the top of the list by far. Like,
I think Magic is still a little better, but it's not. It's like one.
Curry will be better at the end.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Number 2,
Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic for me.
Yeah.
Like a guy that I think has been overrated in the past, but like you can't deny how he literally
so
carries
skilled.
that Dallas team.
He can do other than defend. So other than defending, he's still like.
But he's big
okay.
enough that
he's
he
big,
can,
exactly.
yeah.
He can guard 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
Well, to like most 4s, like today's 4s. But he can do literally everything you need any player to do.
Yeah.
Times 2 because he does it very well.
And like if without him, that team has no source of offense.
Their record reflects off how well he plays.
Yeah.
Literally, like the rest of the team is literally just like there to make some shots.
I would love to see him with more good players to see how his game evolves with that. Right now,
do you think he'll get out of Dallas or like what?
I mean,
like
he just signed him supermax.
Yeah, so at least 5 years.
Yeah, and I really want him. I really want guys to go to Dallas with him. I think that'd be so cool.
I don't really care about Dallas, so
I don't
really care about the organization. But.
Well, that's the thing is like as long as Mark Cuban's gonna be running the way that things that he wants it to, it's like is Dallas ever really gonna be that good?
They're
like
giving too much money to KP, and he's not. That's just.
I think they don't do anything until KP's gone.
Yeah, no, not with that money. But like Luka is just like he can make for you. He can give you 40 one night. Like he's just running at
40 and like 12 and 10.
Yeah,
like, that's like okay, cool.
Yeah. And there's really no game plan to stop him because if you stop his scoring, he's gonna play make. And if you try to stop his play make, he'll just score on you.
One thing I do think we should bring up, just because it is very bad, is his turnovers. He averages 4.8 per turnover a game, which again he is. He has
so much responsibility.
He is the Dallas Mavericks.
He is the Dallas Mavericks. But I think that has to be a stat as he brought up because it is probably top in the league.
And then the defense can always improve, but his defense is better than you.
He's a huge. He's 6'7".
So did you guys have the same number?
Well, we had the same top 4.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing. Well, go ahead, give your 2.
My 2. We already talked about him. CP3 was my
nice.
2, and just because, thanks, man. And again, no particular order, but CP3 was one of those guys who, his sneakers always fit me really well. So I like
my first pair of basketball shoes are CP3s.
Yeah, and his and to be honest, one of my favorite pairs of basketball shoes to play in till this day is the CP3s.
Never
And
played
super
CPs.
comfy, man.
Oh, dude. And just I've got a weird shaped foot, and I'm thinking, Chris Paul, you must have some weird feet, man, because my feet are pretty weird, and you're the only player's shoes who I can wear and be like, these are comfortable, and they're also a point guard shoe. Like I used to buy LeBrons, and I'm like,
too heavy.
I mean, they're too heavy.
My
and
first
like,
shoes were LeBrons.
Yeah, and I'm like,
they were too heavy.
Yeah, way too heavy,
chunky.
And then there were other shoes that just didn't fit me well. But I found that the fucking traction on the CP3 line of sneakers has just been crazy. Like
I'm an avid PG shoe fan.
okay.
I have PG 1s and 2s, and they're
Nice.
both top tier.
But
all right. The best point guard in the NBA, no debate. Stephen Curry, one of my favorite players to watch too.
Is so good at basketball.
He might be better than when he won his unanimous MVP.
I think he is.
Yeah, like
even last year he might have.
He's
been.
absolutely
Yeah, last year was fucking crazy, dude.
And he's the MVP front runner right now.
50-point nights. Like that was a casual thing. And like every second Instagram post is like something about how Steph is just going off. I'm like, holy.
The only difference this year is they're winning games. Like they're really the best team in the league, and they have Klay Thompson. Like it's literally. I don't want to say just Steph Curry because like Draymond's a huge part of that. Also, Jordan Poole's been really good.
Yeah.
Wiggins has been good this year. But he is such a big part of how they're as good as they are.
He's like
they've had a consistent reign on the NBA for coming up on what
they went like this. Like this.
Yeah, but that's
for half a second.
Yeah, but that's only because of injuries, man. It's the only reason why. I would say that they still remain the same talent. It's just the injuries were so detrimental to the team. But they've had a consistent like NBA reign for like what?
I never
7 years.
7 years now.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be happy to see the Warriors at the top of the
I
league.
always loved the Warriors, man. That
No,
was
when
like
they KD, no.
Really? I love them.
No, I did not like KD on the
Really?
Warriors.
I hated it.
I loved them.
Well, because he
was-
was just going there to win a chip.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
was
just,
so
I
obvious.
It was
I
so-
hate that.
it was so
basketball
fun to
mentality.
watch,
That's
though.
why I don't really like Kevin Durant. Like,
Oh,
I don't really
I
like him
love
as a
watching-
person. Like,
I like watching him, but I don't like him as a.
yeah, no,
I don't
watching
as
him,
a
he's
dude.
insane.
I-
But as a
yeah.
person, I
That
find
was
him
one
to
I
be
only
like,
fuck with him like that.
yeah, because
like,
I think he's just like, dude, you're just chasing the chip, and it's like,
It was
I
so
can
much,
understand
that,
that
team was
to a
so
certain
fun to watch,
extent,
though,
but
man. That team was so fun to watch.
yeah, but the back of my mind, I was like, this shit is.
I hate
stupid.
super teams, man. I hate
I
that
was like,
mentality,
this
bro.
is
Like, it's
stupid.
Yeah, I guess.
And then we see how quickly super teams can kind of fall apart when they don't have like a main piece. Like, for example, when Kyrie's not playing with the Nets right now, the Nets are like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, they're not like,
They're not championship.
yeah, exactly. It's not like a
then
unanimous
even
like,
even
the Nets are
and
gonna
then
win it all this year.
Even
Like,
the Lakers, everybody's like, oh my god, Westbrook, Anthony Davis, LeBron,
He's not that guy
championship.
anymore,
And it's
man.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
like we as I think so. We should talk about who we didn't have on our list also.
Well, who's your number one?
My number one was Dame, and we talked about Dame and a lot. And the reason why
I knew this. You mentioned this before.
right, and the reason why I put Dame on that list is because over the years, Portland has been my second like favorite NBA team, like, and that's personally, even though they've
Is it
never
because
really
of, like,
been
if Dame
that
went to a different
good.
team, would you follow Dame?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
follow
okay.
Dame, even though I actually still just like Portland. Something about Portland, I just like it. I don't know why. It's something about it just seems cool. Like, and like just
They're the West Coast, but they're not annoying.
They're kind of
Yeah,
falling
they're
apart.
like a
right?
chill-
Lakers,
they're
the,
super-
the LA's West Coast, like, oh yeah, we're West Coast. Portland's West Coast too, but they don't
Yeah.
talk about it like
It's
that.
super
Kinda
chill.
fall apart
Yeah,
right
like
now.
Portland to me seems like a very chill place. You know what I mean? So, and then Dame, I just like Dame as such a pure scorer and like a pure point guard type. And like, listen, man, I know Dame is struggling this season, but we've talked about this before, man. He's probably losing motivation, dude. Like,
And he's got that injury he's dealing with abdominal issue.
Yeah.
exactly,
Oh, I don't
man.
blame
Like,
him.
it's
I
just
want him
been
out
a
of Portland.
tough. He's had a tough career and a tough life, man. Like, you know what I mean?
I want
Like,
him out of Portland.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
like,
Portland's such a like their organization's falling apart,
yeah,
man.
it's really tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, but like,
They just fired
Their GM fired him 5 years too late. Man.
and like, where's Dame gonna go though? Like,
I would like to see him in Philly with Embiid.
oh, that would be
fun.
good. Yeah,
Me too.
Dame would be.
And then Ben Simmons in Portland wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, and then they need to trade CJ McCollum, man. That guy is like, he's pretty overrated in my eyes. Like, you can't have two like extreme
No,
negatives
him and
on
like,
defense in the backcourt
yeah,
together.
you can't. That's why Trey Young and
Yeah.
Devin Booker don't work. But anyway.
Well, I think Devin Booker has become an average defender.
Fun fact: Damian Lillard is cousins with Keljin Blevins.
Who's that?
He played for Portland for 1 year.
Oh,
So,
cool.
so take that home with you.
Yeah, take that to the bank, cash that shit in.
We have anything else?
I want to talk about who weren't on our list.
Okay, so some like other than like young,
Russell Westbrook did not make our
Yeah.
list, which I think will shock a lot of people because
he's just
Russell
not,
Westbrook,
Yeah,
oh.
big name.
You know.
Not that guy anymore.
he
Overhyped, I'm sorry,
he felt-
overhyped.
He was off my list before LaMelo was.
yeah.
And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
and okay, again, I want to reiterate, I love LaMelo. I think LaMelo is one of the top point guards in the league, but they're just so stacked. And I didn't mean any LaMelo hate 'cause I do love
And
LaMelo.
other than like young guys who didn't make it, which is like that's just guys developing, but like Lowry not making it was a little bit
Yeah.
weird for me.
Just that's
he
the
was
thing
close
is
to me
like
too.
right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If like
Yeah.
if this was 2019,
Yeah.
different story. Right now, it's like Lowry's his job on Miami isn't to be a scorer or to be, you know what I mean?
It's just to be a winning
and
player,
guidance,
you know,
yeah, to
guidance.
provide some
Yeah.
because
provide good habits.
for that team especially too. I think that like honestly, I think the work that Kyle's putting into that team and what's giving him his contract worth, the money, is what's going on in practice. I think what he's telling these kids and like especially guys like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, man, like they need some guidance. They really
Bro,
need
Duncan
to,
Robinson needs some guidance, man. He
Yeah.
can't hit a thing to save his life.
Fuck.
He had a decent game the other night after the 0-point game.
Your looks good though.
He looks very
Your looks really good.
Six man of the
I mean,
year.
it's so weird leaving Lowry off. Like,
Yeah.
I know, me
like,
too.
he's
I
getting
had
old, eh?
initially, like when I first did this, like just really quick, I was like, let me just make it really quick, see what it looks
I
like.
just can't wait
I
till
had
he
Larry
signs
10.
that 1 day
Yeah,
contract.
to retire the Raptors.
Dude, I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm gonna cry, man. Like we
Hey.
gotta be like we gotta have like a whole ceremony, man.
We gotta hold hands
And,
stuff.
yeah, and like
the-
sway back and forth.
Yeah, be in a big hug.
Oh, Canada.
We should invite Kyle over for this.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. On his last day of his contract, he'll like
Yeah.
pop over to us.
Yeah, I got his number. I'll hit him up.
And just before we move on, shout out Darius Garland, one of the best young players in the NBA.
we
He's
had
gonna be top 10 by the end of the year in point guards. Like,
No, he
guys,
won't.
one of the best passers, an amazing 3-point shooter.
He will not.
He's gonna be.
Who's he gonna be better than at the end of the year? Who's he jumping over?
I think Fred VanVleet's gonna transition to shooting guard. So,
Shut up.
Yeah.
So
No,
just
Darius
it's just a
wasn't-
shift, hey there, Sam. Just a shift.
Well,
Darius-
shout out Darius Garland, man.
Darius wasn't
Moving around the assets.
Darius wasn't on my top 15 list.
Bro.
No man,
He was my second last cut.
The last guy in no particular, my other 5 guys were Lamella, De'Aaron, Jamal, Kyle, and oh my god,
My SGA was on mine. My last cut.
SGA was mine too, I think, but I might have one more actually. Hold on.
Fox didn't make my last cut. And
you taught, like,
and
15
Jamal
or
didn't make my
something?
last cut just because of the injury. I was just
Yeah,
unsure,
that's why-
looking to
that's
the
why-
future.
That's why I cut him off.
And then we didn't include Kyrie or Ben Simmons. Well, Ben
For
Simmons wouldn't have
obvious
made it
reasons.
anyway for me.
He would have made mine
Really?
over Dejante Murray. Yeah.
Interesting. I think I would have taken Dejante over him.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
But
man.
that's
what does Dejante do that Ben doesn't for you?
score.
Ben Simmons still puts up like 15 a game.
Yeah, but not in a sustainable, consistent way that you can expect every night.
He does the
It's just
same
fast
way.
break and
He
like
does it pretty much the same way that Dejante
the mid range
does.
though. Dejante has the mid range pull up and
That's
stuff.
true, but you're gonna put that over.
I think the defense is like close-ish. Like pretty close.
I think Ben Simmons is a.
I
wouldn't say-
can't trust Ben Simmons.
He averaged 16 a game last year and 56% shooting.
Yeah, but what happened in the
All
playoffs, man? Every year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say every year. He had a good series.
Did he?
The one before the first round.
Yeah, against the the
Yeah, see,
Magic.
okay, I don't hate Ben.
Who's it against? Wasn't it against the Wizards? Yeah, it was against the Wizards.
Was it the Wizards?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a solid team.
With Beal and Westbrook guarding him. Like,
Yeah. That's
okay.
fine. Like I don't hate Ben Simmons, man. I think he made a dumb pass and everybody overreacted.
But
I don't
he
think
was also
I think
bad all series.
He was really bad at the series, but he wasn't the reason they lost that series. I'm not gonna say that.
No, but he was.
I
the
think
big-
I
the
think
main
a lot
reason.
of things could have gone
Yeah.
better for Philly. Like that should not have been close at all for
No.
with Atlanta. I
Hey,
mean,
man,
Atlanta was
shout
good,
out
but-
shout out Trey Young scoring on Matisse Thybulle and Ben Simmons all the time, all good night. Fifth best point
Okay.
guard in the NBA.
Hey, shout out Chris Paul for making the finals.
Shout out Devin Booker for carrying him to the finals. No, I'm joking.
Wow. Absolute slander.
Quick
Quick looking
looking ahead for the
Looking
Raptors.
ahead.
Yep.
All right, Raptors play. They
Wait,
will
okay, really quick. Look at all Ben Simmons' nicknames.
the Wizard of Oz.
Simo the Savage is his first nickname on here.
This is so
Never-
Australian.
Young Socialite.
What?
What?
Oh, Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
That's the total opposite of what he is. He's a fucking
Peacemaker?
homewrecker.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
He's a
The
complicator,
Yank-
man.
Wait.
Benny.
The Yank.
the
He's
Yank.
Australian,
The Yank.
Maybe for Yankee, as in American.
but he's
He's
Australian.
the Australian.
Yeah, because like he left Australia to go play in America, so maybe they're like calling him like ironically.
Oh,
maybe.
back home they call him.
Yeah,
So did Aaron
yeah.
Baines. What's his nickname? Is the
Oh,
Yank.
he's not important enough.
Well, and like Ben Simmons, like okay, he's from Australia, but like he's not. Really
his dad's
from Australia.
American.
Yeah, well, and like he didn't really like. He doesn't have an accent.
He went to high school in the U.S.
Yeah, like he doesn't like.
Aaron Baines' nickname is Bangers.
Bangers.
Shout out to Bangers.
No, don't.
Get well soon.
Yeah,
Not
we-
sure.
yeah,
Hey,
no,
he's,
no,
he's
no.
like injured heavy.
Remove
right
your
now.
shout out. Take it
Yeah,
back.
take it back.
Okay, so
Looking
we're
ahead?
looking ahead.
Wizards. It will have already. The game will already have been finished by the time you guys hear this. But I think this is the third time we played the Wizards. Like,
Yeah, that's another team I was gonna say this. I don't want to ever see us play the fucking Wizards ever again.
Actually, I'm excited for this game.
It'll be a
Because
good
the
game,
Wizards
but
are really
I'm
good.
tired of seeing us play the same
Yeah.
fucking teams.
Yeah,
Like,
well, on Wednesday we play the lowly OKC Thunder,
Who just lost by 73 points to Memphis without John Morant.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. That
Maybe
game.
SGA. SGA will be back home. That'll be
believe
fun
that?
for him.
Yeah.
So if he's
Maybe a couple guys
That'd
have
be
a
fun.
good game.
yeah. So
I just want to look at the box score.
not a lot coming from this week though.
No. Well, we have that's the only game for before?
Next podcast we will only be talking about the Wizards game.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay, let's wrap it up, everybody. So before we head out of the podcast, I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
I'm Sam Kenny.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and then also leave us a review. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every week. All right, we'll see you guys later this
Peace.
week. Thanks, Marvel.
Peace.
See you guys.